What is up, RotoGrinders? 2 hours nonstop MLB DFS conversation. It starts right now. Returning champion. It's Head Chopper here for the first hour and 10 minutes, give or take, till we yield to crunch time. Crunch time coming in around 6:10, 6:15. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth, of course, holding that down. I did pull up his weather page. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the chat for the people. Nothing really alarming as far as precipitation. We'll keep our eye on in Chicago. It's yellow, but we'll monitor it, see what Roth has to say. But as of right now, assuming everything is clean and good to go, a lot of hot weather around the country as well. So some pretty good hitting weather. The Dodgers are in Coors Field. They have a 7.5 team total. Shohei Ohtani has an asking price of 7.2K on DK, which to me feels like possibly the most expensive he's ever been. I'm not sure. Chop, you recall, have we ever gotten this high for a hitter in obviously it'd be a really good hitter in Coors Field will be the situation, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen a hitter that expensive. That'll be a large part of the conversation. Just the Dodgers in general. It's kind of the old fork in the road because there is some really good pitching. There's some really strong pitchers taking the mound. Strider is throwing baseballs tonight to Garrett Crochet, Carlos Rodon, and then the next generation. The next generation is here. We think one of the best pitchers. Prospects in all of baseball here for Cincinnati. Fireballer also has a nice sick breaker. Chase Burns making his MLB debut as well. They got some fun players there in Cincinnati. Burns throwing 100. It's 100. Green throwing 100. Elliot De La Cruz. They got to get some pieces around there, but some fun players to work with. Chop, it's also an unprecedented. You don't know this, Chop. It is actually a Fleet Tuesday. It's a Fleet Tuesday. Yeah, little curveball for you. Fleet Tuesday. You guys know what that is. Get yourself a week free of RG Premium. You jump in the Discord, rotogrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. Tell me what athlete I am talking about. Clues will be dropping periodically on the bottom of the screen. I'll verbalize them as well and be the first person to do so. You cannot spam the chat, but one guess per clue drop. Chop, I didn't mean to throw you off. Are you startled now? You prepared? I know you were studying your television shows all pre-show. Did that thwart, your strategy?
I mean, we've had this conversation before on a Tuesday. I do not agree with it. I just do not agree with it. Thursdays are a great day for Fleet Thursday. Makes sense. TV is for Tuesdays. Tuesdays for TVs. I don't get it. And so, yeah, not particularly pleased with the direction of the show already. In baseball,
you want to play it under protest? You can play it under protest if you want.
In baseball lingo, you're already at strike one, and we're about 2 minutes into the show. By the way, Dean, I did a wrap up. I did a quick little 2-week binge on 2 seasons of Outer Range Amazon Prime show last night. I wrapped it up last night.
Is that good? I've never dabbled.
It was interesting. I don't. It's a time travel kind of show. A little different kind of curveball on time travel. And I dig that kind of stuff. So it was all right. I didn't mind it at all.
Did you ever watch the one out of Germany that's on Netflix? It's like a time travel show. I'm told you know what I'm talking about? It's dubbed.
That's why I know it's a no.
People that watch this show say it's like the most incredible show, but I'm not sure. Maybe somebody will chat. Dark. Yeah, that's what it's called. Dark. You wear dark. Thank you, Hoosier saying banners. Nobody's mentioned it to you before. It just seems like a lot. You got to invest it. You got to really pay attention, and even then, you're kind of confused. But
I'm just not. I've tried the subtitle, or I've tried the dubbing thing before. Just doesn't do it for me, man. It feels off. Just feels way off, and I can't get into it ever. So I don't do dub shows.
Netflix usually has pretty good dub stuff. They usually do a pretty good job with that. But the chat is they're also saying Dark. It's worth checking out, I suppose. Speaking of, I'll talk about the weather. It's hot all over the place. So in honor of that, also it kind of fits, But in honor of that, the clue number 1 for Fleet Tuesday is hot. Hot is our first clue. Oh man, Chop, this is a lot. Yesterday I had nothing to say about the slate. I didn't like anything. It just was not something. Some days you just kind of like the board more than others. Today, Rod Strickland is a great Jets, Chop. It's not Rod Strickland though. Hot Rod. Was not thinking about him today, but Yeah, his team though, his old team, one of his old teams, Blazers making some trades. I'm so confused why they want 35-year-old Jrue Holiday when like they're not going to be good for 5 years. Like, what are you doing? But okay, different conversation, I guess, for another show. CJ McCollum is now a Wizard. There's a lot going on before the NBA draft, which starts tomorrow. But this is baseball. This is DFS. All we care about is today and today only. Your approach, Chop, how you seeing the board? Because we have great pitching. The mid-tier and below is not very good, in my opinion. Like the nonsense pitchers, I don't like the nonsense. And in years past, DK would goof. I don't know if they would goof or do it on purpose, but the pitcher coming out of nowhere, we would get like the 4K Chase Burns and like, okay, let's just play Chase Burns in the Dodgers. And that's super easy. And you could say they were asleep at the wheel because it took them till this morning. They had knowledge that he was going to be pitching 3 days ago, and he wasn't even in the pool until this morning or sometime overnight. And they made him 8K. That's a very respectable price. I still think he's intriguing. We'll talk about it. But it's not like we're getting the 4K pitcher out of nowhere, and we can just everybody does the same thing. They load up on bats and get to Chase Burns. What is your approach? What is your overview? Because besides the Dodgers, there are some teams, but really not a lot of big totals out there. Good weather. Arizona is just kind of hindered. No Josh Naylor. He was scratched. Corbin Carroll went on the IL. He might be up for a while. That could be a big deal. So their lineup is not great against Chicago. What amounts to a Chicago bullpen game? The White Sox out there, Perdomo's leading off, Marte, Smith, Gurriel, McCarthy, Grichuk, Vargas, Thomas, and Herrera. So you get a lot of cheap pieces, but that team total has also taken a hit, 4.25. The Dodgers at 7.65 is a completely bonkers number. But I think that's kind of right. It's also, German Marquez, who's not been good this year. The lefties look spectacular. Shohei Ohtani is so well positioned for 5 ABs. And Crochet against the Angels. I know the Angels have been playing better of late, but biggest K-rate pitcher on the slate. Lois Sierra. The Angels strike out a bundle versus righties. But otherwise, like team totals. Is there one other team that has a total above 5? I think there's one. Is there one or no? The Yankees, which to me is kind of surprising. I'm on the Burns side. Maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to say. I'm bummed that Stanton's on there officially because I thought he was good for a couple strikeouts against Burns. And I'm going to be playing Burns, I think. But Chop, your assessment, your overview. How are you seeing the board today?
Speaking of Kool-Aid, Dean, I'm currently watching one episode a night of The Studio.
It's good. Well, I'm 4 episodes in, and I'm really enjoying it. I knew I would like that show. Yeah, the first episode was pretty funny.
Really funny
Yeah.
show. Well written. So
yeah,
they're doing a remake of the Kool-Aid Man, or not even a remake. It's just but it's a good show.
It's a good premise. It's a great send up, or Hollywood is these days to some extent. Yeah. It's and a lot of inside jokes in there too. It's clever. It's a fun show.
Wait till you get to the doctor episode.
Wait, you said you're only 1 episode in.
No. I said I watch one a night. I want 1 episode per night.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. I'm 4 in, and I've been enjoying it. TJ in chat saying he likes it as well. So there you go. All 3 of us.
Overview. I mean, there's several pitchers I really like. So pitching won't be a problem figuring that out tonight. And I'm going to eat some chalk on the Dodgers. I do not care what ownership looks like. I'm just trying to fit as many in with a reasonable price tag as I can. And we'll figure out the rest of it from there, even if that means I have 4 players or 3. How many ever hitters I have to choose outside of the Dodgers. Even if I have to one off them all and they're relatively you just don't see a near 8-team total roll along all the time. So they're a powerhouse offense. They're going to score a lot of runs. You're going to get a piece of it. I know Shohei's expensive, but for me playing on DraftKings and single entry and limited entries and smaller fields, man, I feel like let everybody else make the mistake of fading some Dodgers. I'm going to try to jam them in, even if it's an expensive Shohei, because I'm guaranteed, Dean. I'm guaranteed of a home run practically, right?
No, you're not.
There's no way this guy's not going yard and course.
His floor is 0. His floor is literally 0.
He's a course field, and he's the best hitter in the game. He's got to score he's got to get at least enough points that equal at least a home run, even if it's not a direct home run itself.
He doesn't have to do anything.
Yes, that's the way it works. He's that good. He's going to get him. So
it works the complete opposite. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to.
Seriously though, like in smaller fields, like everybody's floor is 0 in baseball. Like that's everybody, every hitter out there. The difference is, though, I don't know what the terminology is, not necessarily the median of Shohei in course field, but like his realistic floor. I mean, I know he could score 0, but man, like double-digit point, 10 points, that's not far-fetched at all to think that that's just whatever. This is a great matchup in course field. It's not bad hitters weather. It's pretty neutral weather, and then you factor in the course field itself makes it an incredible environment. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm jamming in Dodgers. I'm playing 2 pitchers. I got a list of guys I could play. I feel good about it at the pitcher position. If I have to save salary on my last 3 one-off spots from, and take goose eggs on those guys, I will. But I'm going to get some Dodgers in there.
So I don't know how often you look at the projections as far as actual points when it comes to hitters. I pretty much never do. I think it's useful to have a projection on them. I understand why they're there, but median baseball projections are kind of LOL. Like there's something useful you can do with them, but like you said, and like 0 is everybody's floor. What do you think Ohtani's median projection is on DK? Have you looked at this?
No, I haven't looked at it, but his median, like what's
his median projection
on
DK?
RG or the bat, or
I have it on the RotoGrinders projections.
Okay, RG. The bat's going to project him for more probably.
Let me see.
So
I'll give you both.
I would say RG's probably a median. Man, I mean, they probably got his median at 14.
14.8 is his median projection. The bat, like you said, has him at 15.46, so a little bit higher in the bat. And essentially a solo home run is like his median projection. Like there's different ways of getting there. And oh, by the way, like as a side note, if I told you Ohtani hits a solo homer, he goes 1 for 5, and that's it, that's an X button. Like I don't want that. It's an X button.
Not for me in the small fields that I'm playing.
You'll pay that. You'll pay 7.2K for a solo homer.
Where else? What other hitters can I be guaranteed of a solo homer?
Well, there's no guarantees when they come to
exactly.
hitters. You're capping the ceiling though.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that because I'm going to get 2 pitchers that are going to score. I'm playing small fields. I got that guy. Like, so is the $7,200? What is his price tag? 7,200.
72.
Okay.
It's outrageous.
Well, what am I going to do with that money? I'm going to get a 0 from Aaron Judge. I mean, I'll take the 14. Like,
well, you can get at least 1 stud pitcher. That's a starting point.
I can already get a star pitcher. There's some good ones out there, and there's some.
So you have Ohtani and Crochet in the same lineup?
I haven't done anything yet. I don't know how hard it is actually.
It's hard.
I haven't built a lineup yet, but I'll figure something out. Like I'll figure it out I'll play him on one of the sites. I'm playing FanDuel and DraftKings. One of them will. I mean, I can't fade it. And you know what? The good thing about today's DFS / sports betting landscape is if somehow I look and go, damn, I can't get him. This is crazy. I can't get him in my lineup. He's too expensive. I can't feed him in there. I just go to the player props, prize picks, underdogs, whatever, and I load up on the props on the over on Shohei just in case. So I'm gonna hedge it regardless. So I feel good about it tonight.
I do want to shout out Captain America Bleeds in the chat. Took down, won 3K, looks like on FanDuel last night with Erod. He said he remembers somebody saying last night Erod is not good. I think that was Eric. I'm pretty sure that was Eric that said that. I was like, we didn't say that, right? I played some Erod last night, also, mostly because I didn't like the pitching slate, and like he's the guy I fell into. I thought he was fine. But yeah, shout out to Captain America Bleeds. Of course, Eric is saying he's going to play some Aaron Marquez. Like he's not afraid of that 7.5 total. Why not? Have at it. I mean, just not playing the Dodgers. Well, I was because that's kind of a stand in itself, but they're expensive, so I'm not really sure how popular the Dodgers are going to be. And I'll tell you something with our projections, and maybe this is just my difference of opinion. Our projections seem to like the Yankees. The total likes the Yankees, and I don't think I'm playing the Yankees. So I don't know if that's just my issue, if the field's going to feel differently. It's also really hard to get the Judge as well. You mentioned Judge. He's awesome, of course. The ballpark is great. Who knows what you're going to get out of the rookie? Well, I guess Burns, if you're not aware, Burns throws 100. He's got an incredible breaker. Throws 100 miles per hour. Yeah, 100 miles per hour. He flew through the minors. 13 starts. I think he started at single A. I think a couple starts in triple A. Throwing between 80 and like 88 pitches, so he's mostly stretched out. He threw 7 innings in 2 of his last 3 starts. Typically they kind of baby these guys in their first start. I imagine if things are going well, he can throw 85 pitches. 36.8% as far as the Ks. So I like Burns a good bit, and all these guys for the Yankees probably never. I can't imagine anybody seen them. You're the BUP guy. I didn't go through it, but first time through, seeing what Burns has is probably pretty tricky. Is it a meaningful discount down to 8K? Now there's Spencer Strider, who's found his velocity. There's Framber Valdez, who's not an elite K guy, but quality starts. Like, speaking of floor, almost always gives you a good floor. Freddie Peralta, who's fallen back from what he's been historically, but he's taking on just a horrendous Pittsburgh team. So I think you got to like him a little bit. Carlos Rodon against a Cincinnati team where their best hitter, Ellie De La Cruz, is significantly weaker versus left-handers. This lineup has a lot of Ks in it. McLean, EDLC, Steer, but collectively it's 27%. There's some contact guys in there as well, but I think Rodon's got an upside. So that's kind of why I feel like you have to get at least one good pitcher. And I think I'm going to get 2. I think I'm just going to get 2 because we'll talk about it even more, Chop. There's a certain point where I don't want to roster any of these pitchers. And I guess it's...
Woo.
Well, I mean, is Verlander the cheapest I'm willing to go? Maybe.
Maybe. He's
not great.
He's rediscovering a little bit of velocity, though, so you could go that route. So I'll go back to Burns real quick because you brought him up. Yeah, he consistently throws in the high 90s with that fastball. Consistently. And can touch 100, 101 pretty regularly if he needs to. Great wipeout slider, like a 70 grade slider in the number. Like a wipeout, and then he comes along with a little bit of a curveball and a changeup just to throw you off. I do worry about the first start being in such a bandbox and against a good lineup. Obviously, that could be troubling, a good lineup, and then you get the best second top five hitter at worst in the game, Aaron Judge, whatever your metrics are with Shohei and all those other guys. It could be rough. And at the first start, a little nerves, all that is worrisome. It's also a little bit worrisome that when he was in college, he got hit a lot harder than he got hit in the minor leagues. I don't necessarily think it was a competition thing. They actually
Forest, I believe.
They did some changing of his fastball, reshaping his fastball a little bit to avoid some of that hard contact. So he got shelled at times in college with hard contact. So that worries me a little bit against the Yankees. You step up in your first, but otherwise I'm with you. I wish there was a discount on his price tag a little more, but I'm definitely on the fade Yankees train here. Even though when he does leave, they're gonna get a piece of a bad bullpen. But I'm on the fade Yankees train because there's some really solid hitting out there, and I don't want to take a chance because there is a chance he sits there and twirls 5 or 6 innings and they can barely touch the ball on him, and then all of a sudden you're out of luck with all those guys. So
extreme hitters umpire, by the way, in that game, if that matters. Ideally, I wouldn't want that.
I think
in your first
start. Got to matter, right? A little bit. It's the park, though, man. The park really gets me. Like, what? I hate that his debut is in this park.
Well, he better get used to it. That's his home ballpark, Chop.
Yeah, but obviously the weather's not quite as bad as it was earlier, a few days ago. So maybe you'll get lucky there. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think fade Yankees. I don't know how much of him I'll play, but definitely fade Yankees. He's good enough to fade the Yankees. And then you mentioned Framber. He's not being much of a strikeout pitcher. This is his highest strikeout rate this year that he's had since that when he first came on the scene in the the year didn't even count. Like everything was wiped away. 2020, the COVID year, like none of that stuff even matters. But that was the first time we ever really saw Framber as a starting pitcher. This is high. This is his highest K rate since then. And it also happens to be a contract year. Big surprise. He's really he's letting it all hang out here, man, and he's not holding back. So,
but the Astros as an organization are known that nobody would ever do anything goofy or nefarious. You're not suggesting that there's a reason why his K rate is spiking in a contract year. You're not alleging anything subtly.
I'm saying that he is a big head case, and when they didn't give him his when they didn't extend him, all these years and every offseason. So he kind of goes into the moping mode, and sometimes he hits these walls during the season where he doesn't care. He's not mentally there because he's mentally weak. Now he's playing for the biggest contract he'll ever have as a major league player ever in his life. This is it for him, So
do you want them to resign him, or it's probably these things always end up badly with pitchers?
If he wants to resign for 2 or 3 years, sure, but that won't happen. Yeah, that won't happen. So appreciate what he's done, but he can go with all that 6 or 7 year talk. So, but yeah, so he's letting it all hang out. He's not being mentally weak now because he's playing for a lot of money. So, and this is a good matchup for him. Philly's a solid offense, but they also feature some left-handers that he can probably get to, and so I kind of dig Framber tonight. I think he's in a really good spot. But I mean, clearly
older than I thought he was. By the way, I'm sure he's 31. I thought he was.
That's
younger
why
than
I don't want that long contract. Yeah, he's a little long in the tooth, man, for anything more than 3 years. So,
how old's Corbin Burns? Because he got like 6 years or something like that.
Yeah,
that's working out. I
was working out pretty good too. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I definitely would never sign a pitcher who's already in their 30s to a long-term contract. So, but Framber is a solid pitcher. But obviously, the guy tonight, the number one guy. If I was doing CVR rankings, it's Crochet. That's, clear cut to me, as obvious as you can get. He's the number one guy. Like
I did do CVR rankings myself, Dave Potts, and Kirk Dees. All three of us put Crochet in the 1 spot. We all put Strider in the 2 spot for what it's worth. So we're pretty much in consensus there. Like the 3 through 6, combination of Rodon, Peralta, Valdez, and Burns. I was the only one to not rank Bubic. He's still pretty expensive. He's fine. It's hot in Kansas City.
I like some Booby.
Bubic.
Yes, his nickname's Booby, Dean. You didn't know that?
Yeah. We're doing the I'm just gonna randomly, no particular reason. We're doing the BUP suggestion of the day and the knockers later on in the show. Make sure you hit that like button so Chop can give it to you guys in about a half hour or so. But talk to me about Bubic, because I'm not besmirching. I just don't. He's just falling back. The price is too high. He was bad last time. I think that's fine. Tampa's offense has been pretty good. I know that they haven't been great against at least this offense from a power perspective. A lot of these guys haven't been great versus lefties. Chandler Simpson's back. This isn't really the spot for Chandler Simpson. Of course, he's not a power hitter. He's got no extra base hits versus lefties. Just when he gets on base, he's such a menace, because his speed is absolutely absurd. I think Meisner was the guy who was sent down or DFA'd or whatever. I think he's the guy that went bye-bye. But, Simpson is in the 9 hole. Talk to me about Bubic and his 25.6% Ks in the season, 26.7 versus righties. He's a neutral to reverse, right, as far as the splits. I believe he's a neutral or reverse splits guy, for what it's worth.
Yeah, so, Kauffman Stadium out there today it's some good hitting weather, but even with the good hitting weather, it's still it's a negative park for home runs, and he doesn't give up home runs. So we're going to keep the ball in the yard, especially when you factor in Tampa Bay's offense is going to that tough to hit a home run park from the minor league stadium that they usually play at. So it's a park downgrade for them. So he gets that extra benefit of it. He's just been a solid pitcher, and I can get behind that. Let me see, pulling up some of the numbers. Oh gosh!
By the way, I see the today's Slate Tuesday. The second clue is already scrolling. It is pot, so it's hot and it's Pot.
I'm sure everybody took my guess too, right? Like,
Somebody did guess Ricky Williams, and it's not Ricky Williams. There's a lot of people you could guess if that's the route you're going to go. But he's an interesting guy, Ricky Williams. You ever hear him? He's a deep thinker. It's not Ricky Williams. Somebody said Michael Phelps. So there's another one for you. J.R. Smith. Ronda Rousey? I'm not sure if somebody said Hot Rod Roddy Piper, which I thought that was pretty good. It's
you don't Roddy watch Piper. Wrestling. You're not a wrestling guy. There's no way you.
Piper? I know Roddy Piper just fine. The second clue is pot. We'll drop that third clue in a second. Hot and pot. And oh boy, you know what? We may have a winner, Chop. Somebody may already. Looks like we got a W in the Discord. So they you know what? The field's been good. The field's been crushing me. Got it in 2. This was a par 3.5, but we got a birdie. We got a birdie here in the Discord. Shout out to, I don't know how to pronounce this. WMU dude. There you go. Western Michigan dude, 24. Took it down in 2. We'll keep it going just for fun. But continue your thought, Chop. I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to get that second clue.
So for all that, should be a little bit of run prevention for him tonight. And he surprisingly checks in with a strong strikeout rate this year. Like he's been a solid pitcher, man. 25.7% this year. All his other metrics look good. The xFIP, the Sierra, everything checks out for him. I'm not scared of the Tampa Bay lineup outside of Steinbrenner minor league stadium. So yeah, I kind of like him. He's cheaper than all the other guys. I think I would classify in that tier 2 after Crochet, Framber, Peralta, Rodon, even Ranger Suarez. He's the cheapest one out of all those guys. So yeah, I kind of like Booby tonight.
Oh, you know what? I just realized. Unbelievable. Amateur.
I was just going to see how long you would go with it. I was going to see how long you would go without it.
First time this week. Crochet, 33% on DK. I thought that'd be a little bit higher. We got Peralta at 28%, Valdez at 20%, Strider at 14%. I know the matchup's kind of tough there against the Mets, but Strider, his velocity mostly held last time. We saw his velocity kind of creeping up. I was looking at it. It went down just a tick, but it spiked up in the previous game. So I assume he's basically mostly back to where he was. He's still like 1 mile per hour and change, but he's certainly worked his way up from where he started to start the season. I'm kind of surprised to see Ryan Nelson at 12%. It's just like he throws baseballs professionally. He's cheap and he's facing the White Sox. Okay. I got to say, if this holds, we have Burns at 7%. 7%. Is just nobody going to play this guy in single entry stuff? I might play him in single entry, which this stuff goes, man. If you play, if it's 7% in the large field, he's probably less than 5 in single entry. Maybe that's a bad read. Maybe he's going to be 15, 20%. Have you, in your private chat today, Chop, are the people excited about playing Chase Burns more so than I am?
In the private chat, we're not discussing Chase Burns. More discussing, Donald Trump and his behavior and and some other stuff. But I get it. I'm actually starting to think along those lines now of playing the rookie, playing the first timer. That is a good price tag, all things considered. But you mentioned Ryan Nelson, and I didn't want to play him, but man, I understand it because the price tag is so good, and it helps you with the rest of your offensive team. And it's the White Sox. We saw what Erod did last night, right? It's a good matchup. Ryan Nelson is he a great? Let me see. I had his stats pulled up earlier. Like he's not
20% Ks. It's not horrendous.
Yeah,
it's not great.
It's not bad. It's the matchup. Strikes. It's all matchup. He'll keep the ball in the yard. Yeah, there's pretty good win equity here if that counts for you. I think there's like a 6,500, man. That allows you to get Shohei, man. So I'm all for it. But I think that's the one that stood out for me is the price tag. So I get it. Normally I wouldn't do it, but matchup plus price tag on this slate, it matters.
What percent of lineups that have Nelson also have Ohtani?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Just a
That
question.
combo is going to be popular,
like
but
80%?
it's going to be,
the right
I don't
number.
know,
A
80.
lot.
80's a bit much, but
50%?
it's going to be big, but it's going to be like that anyway. Like you're going to have these some combinations. Like you just got to get different elsewhere. I'm okay with it. Like he's the cheapest guy. I would definitely entertain putting in a lineup at pitcher.
Props to Joe in the chat said, almost took down the rally for the second straight night. Those late homers for Kyle Raleigh. Well, those homers, you got to assume he's going to hit at least one. Just he's out right 31, 32. What is he at? 32 now? It's completely insane. And James Wood dropped him to fourth, but still, that's pretty good. Very respectable. At what point, Chop, do we start talking about worst trade in the last 20 years? Right, the Abrams Wood Gore combination for a couple months of Juan Soto. Like, at what point do we start saying this might be one of the worst trades you've seen in the last X number of years? Because it's really starting to ramp into that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was in hindsight, it looks like a bad trade right now. But the weird part about it, San Diego still has an excellent farm system, and they still got a good ball club. Like, sure, they could use those guys right now, but man, I don't know where they get all these damn minor leaguers from, but they come out of nowhere. And Jackson Merrill's, the new thing now, and like, so it was in hindsight, but I mean, you're going for that. You know this, Dean. Most of the trade, I don't even know the numbers here. You just threw out a weird number of 80%. Yeah, but I'll throw out a weird number, totally off the cuff. I'd say 90%. 90% being when a team trades prospects for a veteran player, trade deadline midseason, I'd say 90% of the time those prospects don't equal anything, and you look back 5 years later and go, "What a nothing trade! We didn't give up nothing. We didn't win a championship we got the veteran player. We didn't win, but boy, we didn't really give up nothing because those guys, they're still in the minor leagues, or they're barely bench players. So usually it works out in your favor to get rid of those guys, but that one obviously didn't.
I just Tyler Wade is so bad. Imagine if that was James Wood for San Diego. Just take one of those guys. And Tyler Wade's getting some regular run here for the Padres. But yeah, as somebody who used to root for the Marlins, I know all about these guys are going to be great. And then all of a sudden, like the Miguel Cabrera trade for Burke Badenhop and Andrew Miller and some Mike Rabello. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Cameron Maybin, I guess, was he was supposed to be the can't miss guy that missed. But yeah, that happens a lot. Obviously, it happens a lot in baseball. I'm being told here that it's Christopher Morel and Willie Abreu's birthdays tonight, so get excited about that.
Morel didn't make the lineup, did he?
He shouldn't. He's been pretty terrible. He might not be on the team for much longer. He's not in the lineup. No, I think Tampa does a really good job with trades historically. Good. They have to just to kind of make up for the fact that they don't delegate a lot of funds to players. But he's been horrendous. PCA, who did not homer yesterday, you can't believe it, against a lefty. He's getting run back today.
Shots fired.
He may have been a double. No, it's not a home run. Scoreboard. 4-1 is the number there for Spidey and TJ. That's the first Spidey bomb. Keep hitting that like button. You'll get more. We did get the Dodgers, by the way. Dodgers lineup: Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Will Smith, Muncy, Teoscar, Pajes, Conforto, and Edmund. So Kim is not starting. I think we thought that Kim might be in there. He was projected originally. Anything you got as far as pitchers? You want to give a quick little summary when it comes to the pitchers? We'll move on. We'll talk about some stacks.
Oh, my quick summary. We didn't get to everybody, but here's the quick one. Crochet for me is a tier above everybody else. Love him. There's another next tier down with Framber. Framber, Booby, I think are in tier 2. I think those guys are like second tier and just slightly above a third tier, which would be Peralta, Rodon, Ryan Nelson because of the salary and because I won Dodgers, and Ranger Suarez, which we didn't talk about. But even a right-handed lineup, man, the lineup is still not great without some of those batters that are on the IL right now. So Ranger Suarez, who's been really good, and then you've got guys I personally not as high as the survey or on the the CVR. I'm not as high on Spencer Strider, but he's in the mix. Luis Castillo's in the mix, even though I won't play him. Justin Verlander's in the mix for the salary. You could, worst case in tournaments, I would say Paddock is because of the $6,600 salary, but I won't play him. But if I didn't name him, I'm probably not playing him.
Yeah, chat was asking about Tyler Anderson, which I imagine is basically a similar price to Paddock. And I mean, the K's are so bad, right? 18%. I know Boston's terrible too, but yeah.
Well, he just faced him like 2 weeks ago and got shelled eventually. So yeah, I don't need that. There's other guys out there better than that.
There's a repeat matchup for Strider as well, if you care about such things. If you're looking for tiebreakers, some people care that we faced them 5 days ago. I'm not really big into that. I'm not sure if there's data that actually shows that's true. I know Cardi's been approached with trying to figure that out. I'm not sure if it's been figured out. Third clue, we're playing it out for fun here, Chop. We had hot, pot, and then luck. Hot pot, luck. There you go. That is our first 3 clues for Fleet Thursday. Again, we already have a winner, but, we still can play out the game here for fun. Today's tiers, Chop. Once I tell you the category, I think you can basically, who goes where, I think. Maybe you tell me otherwise. So, Kevin Durant. We talked about him yesterday. Kevin Durant is on the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets are the 15 for Kevin Durant. So I'm going to rank Kevin Durant's 5 teams, 5 tenures. Can you do this? I think it's pretty obvious. I don't think there'll be much pushback here. Golden State, of course, would be his best team of all time. Great run, couple MVPs, couple championships. OKC, Seattle. Shout out to Seattle. Are they bummed? Seattle's probably bummed, right? They're probably bummed at the championship, I imagine so. But Harden, teams along with Russ, Steven Adams. By the way, a reunion with Steven Adams. I don't think they've kept in touch, but Steven Adams hanging out there in Houston. So that's the second best team that Kevin Durant's been on. Houston, right in the 3 spot. A good collection of players. Well, we don't know just yet, but I feel pretty confident this Houston team's going to be better than what Durant was able to do with Phoenix. 130 and 16 in 3 years in Phoenix. That's pretty uneventful. And then Brooklyn, you got to put. I got Phoenix in the 4, Brooklyn in the 5, just because if you remember, he was traded to Brooklyn. People, championship. This is going to be the next 5 years. They're gonna dominate Kyrie and James Harden, and it just never happened. There was a variety of injuries and just all sorts of nonsense. So that Brooklyn team was a complete mess, and that that franchise has been a disaster ever since. Is there any pushback there, Chop, as far as those tiers? That's pretty clear to me. Golden State, OKC. TJ saying OKC should be ahead of Golden State. He won 2 championships at Golden State, and he was the MVP twice. How could OKC be ahead? I don't understand.
The Finals MVP. He was not the MVP twice.
Oh, all right, yeah, he was the Finals MVP. You're telling me that Golden State team was not better than the OKC teams?
The teams were, yeah. I'm saying Durant was the more...
I'm ranking the teams.
Durant had a more impressive player tenure with OKC, which is how you originally prefaced it.
Well, I didn't mean to preface that way. I meant to say what the teams, how the 5 teams.
OKC or Golden State is definitely the best team that he played.
Okay.
For.
Any pushback here, Chop?
Yeah, I would push back on some of it. Golden State for sure, number 1. Yeah, best team. Here's a super hot take, Dean. I'd put Brooklyn at number 2, tier 2. Yeah, that's super hot take.
They stunk.
It wasn't that long of a tenure that they were all there together, and people forget they would have run away with a guaranteed championship. They would have run away with the championship.
Injuries,
if not for Giannis, cheap shot on Kyrie in Game 3, and it was a cheap shot, and he undercut him and rolled his ankle. And that was that because they were already down Harden from a fluke hamstring in Game 1 of the entire playoffs. But even without Harden, not even on the court, Kyrie and Durant would have won that championship. Milwaukee ended up winning it, and that's the team that beat Brooklyn with only Durant basically playing that series. And people forget, like, Brooklyn
I
was
don't
up.
remember Giannis' cheap shot. I just completely forgot.
You don't remember the
I don't
Kyrie
remember.
getting? Yeah, he did. And
Yeah.
the first 2 games of that series, Brooklyn won by like a combined 60 points or something. It was no contest in that series. And then game 3 is what it was. And then the rolled up ankle in game 3, and that was that series. But it went 7 games. He still did it by himself, tried to do it by himself. But no, I think that Brooklyn team was more of a championship threat than Oklahoma City was, to be honest with you. So I get it. I'd put them both in tier 2, but if I was just going to have to list one, it would be Brooklyn. The rest of it, I could live with the rest of it. We'll see how this Houston tenure turns out. I think this is going to be pretty good for him. So we'll see how it turns out.
All right, 12 games, 24 teams. Let's throw in some tiers here, Chop. The first game we're going to talk about is the Braves and the Mets. Frankie Montas taking on Spencer Strider. Atlanta, pretty heavy favorite here, minus 137. Better pitcher, significantly better pitcher. I have some thoughts on Frankie Montas. You may cover it, but the Braves are, I hate saying it, probably my favorite team on the slate.
Whoa!
I don't like this. It's not comfortable because of how bad they've been this year. Ozuna might be playing hurt. Albies just might stink. The advanced data on Michael Harris is bad.
Yeah,
you can't play Nick Allen. You just can't do it. You can't. That's not something I allow myself to do.
All those guys they gave extensions to when they were young, thinking they were getting ahead of the curve, and they come back.
Well, Acuna, they got like 8 years, $100 million or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good. I mean, that's the book's out, even though the injuries, but the book's out on him. But the Michael Harris and the other stuff didn't work out. But I would say I'm with you on liking Atlanta. But I only got them in tier 2. But I do like them. This is a really good matchup for them. And then the Mets. I mean, I can pick on Spencer Strider today. Like that would be a super large field, like a flagship GPP play, picking on Spencer Strider. Otherwise, no dice. So that's a tier 5 for sure. But I'm with you. I got some Atlanta love on the offense for sure.
6 rehab starts for Frankie Montas, 18 innings, 8 home runs, 30 hits, 10 walks, 25 earned runs. Again, this is 18 innings, Chop. 18 innings, 8 home runs, 30 hits, 10 walks, 25 earned runs, a 12 ERA, a 5.79 Ks per 9. It's almost a 4 homers per 9. It's completely insane. Now, to assume that's what it is going forward, you can't be that bad, even if you're trying to be that bad. It's not a promotion because, this guy's great. It's because we have pitchers that are hurt. We're paying Frankie Montas $17 million this year, so let's kind of roll him out there and let him get his face punched in. I'm playing the Braves. I'm on the Braves pretty heavy today. Matt Olson, Acuna, you got to pay him off. Obviously, Montas more vulnerable to lefties as well. Olson's one of my favorite hitters in the slate. I'm good with Drake Baldwin as well. Riley still is a pretty good price. I don't like this ballpark, although it's going to be in the mid-90s there today. Let me give it a refresh on Weather Edge. It was looking pretty good earlier in the day. This stuff does change. So it's a small sample, 21 games, but 22% bump in homers, 98 degrees. 98 degrees is the expectation. Nick Lachey throwing out the first pitch. It's kind of a crosswind as well.
Wait a minute.
What?
You're not serious, are you?
No, I just.
Oh, I was going to say, what a coincidence! How did the meteorologists know that?
I wanted you to call me on that, but Drew Lachey is actually okay. So you have the Mets at the bottom and the Braves and OKC, Yankees and the Reds. The rookie, the fireballer, the breaker, Chase Burns, MLB debut, number 3 pick in last year's draft. He's just flew through the minor leagues. Taking on Carlos Rodon. Again, the Yankees total it's befuddling me a little bit, but I'm still holding strong on the Chase Burns side. But are people playing a bunch of Yankees? Maybe that's the second team according to team totals. You got to pay for Judge, obviously. Grisham and Rice, some lefty power there. Bellinger as well. Jazz. I mean, this ballpark. It's unforgiving. If there's a chance it's going to go, it's going to go in the small park. So. It's tricky. I might make one just in case Yankees lineup, but as of right now, I don't think I'm playing the Yankees. Where do you have the Reds and New York?
I've got them both in the same category, Dean. I've got them both in tier 4. I don't want the Yankees tonight, but more power to you. I think as far as this board's concerned, and we're looking at ownership, and you say they're going to be kind of popular or something because of the team total. Yeah, they got the second highest ownership tonight, according to the RG projections. They've got the second highest ownership behind the Dodgers team. So absolutely 100% people are going to be on them. And I don't want any part of them when you factor in the matchup and everything. And then you add on the ownership, tier four. Sure, man, this guy could go out there and bomb in his first. He was just in college baseball 1 year ago today. Like he was just taken in the draft. There's a possibility, and they're bringing these guys up fast. Started with Paul Skeens, but he's an anomaly. Some of these guys might not be ready for this stuff. So pump the brake. He might not be ready, but he's got good enough stuff that if he's not nervous and if he's on his game, I don't want that high owned Yankees stack.
I'm really annoyed that Stanton's not in there because I felt like that was good for a couple strikeouts, but all right, well, we can work around that. Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, 7.5 total. Heaney versus Peralta. I saw you mentioned Skeens. I think Skeens is thrown tomorrow against the Miz. I think that's tomorrow, if not mistaken. Who's been spectacular. The Miz went 11 straight innings or so without giving up a run or a hit in his MLB debut. Yeah, he throws some gas as well. That should be some fun. But this is the appetizer. Freddie Peralta, Andrew Heaney, 7.5 total. Milwaukee, a heavy favorite here. Pittsburgh, barely with a 3 total. Their lineup is such nonsense after Reynolds. Nick Gonzalez is their cleanup hitter. Like, seriously? Why? Why even bother? Why own a baseball team if you have no interest signing actual baseball players? But I'll get off my soapbox. Pirates, Brewers, where are you at?
Pirates are a tier 5. Can't do anything with that. Can't work with that. Can't win with that. Got to get rid of them. Tier 5. Tier 5 for Pirates. Milwaukee, I debated a tier 4, but it's Andrew Heaney, and he kind of stinks. So I'm going to put him in tier 3 just to be nice, but you're not getting that weather advantage that you were last night. So I'm going to put him in tier 3.
All right. Let's move.
By the way, those temperatures last night and all that good weather, I just went down the board and said, give me the over on each one of these games.
How'd you do?
Really good. Really good. Like last I looked, it was like 4-0.
Yeah, I there's a couple I meant to play and I just never got to it, but I think they all ended up going over. I think one was involving Pittsburgh, and I'm like, I just don't like betting Pittsburgh. I don't like trusting them to do anything.
That one went over. It ended up going over.
I just ended up backing down. I did get a little bit of a ladder from Burns today. That's, if you can't tell, I'm tilted that we don't have Stanton in there. But I think the number was 4.5 or 5.5. I think I have up like 7 or 8 Chase Burns strikeouts tonight. Okay, Seattle, Minnesota, 8.5 is the total. Chris Paddock versus Luis Castillo. Basically, a coin toss here. Buxton is healthy, and he's in the lineup. Now, Castillo historically much better against lefties. You have a cheap Brooks Lee who could be useful in the 3 spot. He's got some versatility as well as far as position. Larnack and Wallner, some lefty power. Clemens as well. I think it was the first home run of the month for J-Rod. Is J-Rod not as good as we want him to be?
Is that another guy who signed an extension?
I think he did. I think he signed for a couple. And the ballpark is tough that he plays in, but and also like historically he tends to play poor the first like 3 months of the year. He eventually comes around, but is he not as good as he wanted him to be? Like he was like crowned as the next superstar, and he's good, but I don't know. Is this it? Is this his peak? I'm not sure. Keep an eye on it.
Like
who is good?
Aaron Judge.
All these players are trash. Who's a good player?
Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani.
Aaron Judge is cold. He's trash lately.
No, I don't care about that. That's nonsense. I hope he strikes out 4 times tonight, though.
Yeah, he had a great rookie year, and that tends to like be embedded in people's minds. And anybody, look, respectfully to these guys, just as an Astros fan, I remember 2 years ago, Chas McCormick had this great year, right? Like really, and Astros fans kind of crowned him. If he had that year when he was 23 and fresh into the majors, you think differently like that. So maybe that was just one of those years for Julio. I don't know. I'd still love him on my team. He's a good guy anyway. He's a good guy off the field. So Yeah, I don't know, but maybe he's not that good. Maybe it was just one really good year. But as far as Minnesota, Seattle, Dean, Seattle, as much as I kind of want to pick on Paddock, even if you get past Paddock, you got a great bullpen. I'm gonna put them in tier 4. Minnesota, borderline tier 4, but I'm gonna put them in tier 3 because I think Luis Castillo is really not that far away from being completely washed. So I'm gonna give him a tier 3 tonight.
Julio Rodriguez a 148 ISO in the season, which is in the red against Plate IQ. So I'm not picking on the guy because he's not being amazing. He's not being good.
Care about ISO. You sure didn't care about ISO when we were talking about Pete Crow Armstrong yesterday, Dean.
Well, you're still upset about yesterday.
Average. What's his batting average, Dean?
This is DFS. We care about DJ with the hit and run. Fourth clue, by the way, we could drop that.
I had to come back to my desktop to actually do the tiers, and so I figured I might as well take advantage of the ability to come on camera while I'm here.
Well, thank you for toughing it out with us, DJ. The fourth clue, it's scrolling right now. It's going to be MVP. We also have Spidey bombs. If you hit a certain threshold, I think 100 likes, you get more Spidey bombs. PCA, TJ, and Spidey are going back to him today. Let's move along to the next game. It is the Rays and the Royals. Chris Bubich taking on Taj Bradley. Man, Taj Bradley. Now I'm going to sound like I'm picking. He's not been good. I hate everybody. No, I want to like the players. I want to like Taj Bradley, but he makes it hard. He's not been good. Kansas City also not been good. What are your thoughts? Royals, Rays?
My thoughts, Dean, are that Jeremy Pena deserves the All-Star vote over Bobby Witt Jr. Let's be real about it. If we're just dealing with the first half numbers like we do in All-Star, he deserves it. Bobby Witt's been very much a disappointment this year, considering the expectations. You know what I mean? So
Jeremy Pena just hired Scott Boras, so you want to say goodbye to him as well?
Actually, Scott Boras has been had some really good history with the Astros owner. So
okay,
they've signed some extensions there, those two guys. So I don't think it's the end of the world, but he's had a good year, man. But Bobby Witt's kind of the microcosm of KC, just not particularly good this year on offense. Like not as good as you would have thought or expected. You say Taj Bradley's bad. Yeah, he's not been as good as we want. He still stands out with some good stuff on FanGraphs. Has some good numbers and a good bullpen behind him. KC's a tier 4. Tampa, away from the minor league field, against what I think is a pretty good pitcher. Yeah, I'm going to put him in tier 5. I'm just not going to play a Tampa guy tonight. So that's a tier 5 for me.
Tier 5 for Tampa. Did you throw Kansas City in the tier? Did I miss that?
4.
Yeah. Okay. I like the offenses a little bit more than you do in that game for what it's worth, but I like it. My bold, I don't know, let's just say bold, but like my random home run call that's not a big name. Caglione. I like Caglione a little bit against Taj Bradley. Don't mind Vinny P as well here on a Totally Tuesday. But okay, let's scoot along. We got crunch time coming in 15 minutes or so. TastefulTides, Tim Buell. We have Chief Neurologist Kevin Roth, and I believe it's Dave Potts. CheeseIsGood. Knocking the door in about 15 minutes or so. We still have some more teams to throw in some tiers. We have some knockers. We got the old BBP suggestion of the day. We'll give the last clue for Fleet Tuesday. And, let's throw some more teams in some tiers. Up next, Arizona White Sox. Jordan Leisure is the starting pitcher. Kind of an opener. They're expecting this guy Vassell to come in behind him, who looks really bad in a small sample. The Diamondbacks lineup is without Corbin Carroll. Eugenio Suarez is not playing baseball today, and also Josh Naylor is out. So, Ketel Marte is doing the John Travolta gif, looking for his best players around him. But, they still have a team total above 4. It's dipped as the days progressed. Perdomo is leading off. Pavin Smith's been really good against righties. Basically a bullpen game here for the White Sox. Now, typically I don't like to pick on those, but the White Sox bullpen is not one of the better ones. Where are you throwing the D-backs and the White Sox?
The White Sox are a tier 4. Just not a particularly good offense. That's a tier 4. I'm not going to stack the White Sox. Arizona, man, Dean, this is a polarizing one right here because, like you said, bullpen matchup, everything should favor Arizona, but I'm just going to put them in a tier 3. I'm not going to put them too high because they are missing their best hitter, Corbin Carroll, and Josh Naylor got scratched. These things hurt your lineup big time. So,
and Suarez.
And Suarez didn't make the lineup either. Oh my goodness.
He's got a hand.
Oh well, goodness. So now, now we're dealing with a really depleted offense. It's not the same. All those numbers that you have about Arizona runs per game and this, and you throw all that out the window. You've got guys who shouldn't be starting consistently at the major league level playing tonight. So that's a tier 3.
I was thinking about the pinch hit stuff, though. They're probably pretty solidified, right? Because their benches are pretty thin. They did call somebody up, of course, for Carroll, but I don't know the availability of Suarez. I don't know the availability of Naylor. For what it's worth, Naylor was in the original starting lineup, so possibly available to pinch hit if necessary, that kind of thing. Ideally, they probably want to give him the day off. And Suarez was hit by a pitch last night. I don't know if that's something he needs a day or two on, but you could make the counter argument that there's a lot of cheap players for Arizona that have a pretty safe spot to not get pinch hit for. Tim Tawa is lurking. And I don't know, was there a situation like, oh my God, it's Tim Tawa time. You got to get, Vargas out of the game or something like that. Anyways, let's move along. Tyon, Michael McGreevy is throwing baseballs here in St. Louis, 8.5 total. Pete Crow Armstrong, just a spectacular baseball player, especially against righties, along with Kyle Tucker, Suzuki, Michael Busch. Weather is still good there in St. Louis. Let me just double check. It's still in the 90s. I think it is. Yeah, 93 in the Lou. Fire emoji, 70 game previous sample, 18% bump in homers. This looks like a good spot. And also you're getting some cheap Cardinals. The Cardinals are pretty cheap, pretty much up and down. The Cardinals are going to be cheap because they now have a cheap catcher as well with Pages in there. Their regular Herrera, of course, has done so for a while. Chop, Cubbies, Cardinals, what do you got?
What I've got, Dean, is it's an interesting game. For St. Louis, Tyon's been pretty good. For that reason, I'm just going to put St. Louis in tier 3, although I could, I like the weather aspect tonight. There's some things I like, but Tyon's been pretty decent. So just a tier 3. Chicago's the interesting one because they are one of the best offenses in baseball. And although McGreevy's numbers on the surface aren't that bad, they're pretty good. Small sample size kind of stuff. My gosh, I'm looking at the projected ownership for the Cubs tonight. It's nothing. It's for like maybe the best offense in baseball. It's nothing. So I've got to put them in tier 2 strictly for that reason right there.
24 teams. It's going to be spread out tonight.
Well, not really. The Dodgers are going to eat up a bunch, right? The Dodgers, and that's fine.
I don't know how much they get because they're hard to get.
That's even better.
They'll get some.
Usually when I'm looking at a good offense, I just put it like, if this was the Yankees, if the shoe was on the other foot, this was the Yankees. If that was the Yankees emblem right there, I think the ownership would be a lot higher than it is on the Cubs. But, I'm getting like nothing for I understand it's going to be spread out, but for a team with a 4.3 team total, one of the best offenses in baseball, in a pretty decent hitting environment, this is nothing. So I'm going to put them in tier 2 just for that reason.
And the Cardinals are hanging out in Houston. Am I seeing this right, Chop? No teams just yet in tier number 1. Is that correct? Golden State is lonely right now, correct?
That is correct. That is correct, Dean. We may not get it here.
Maybe we might get a visit.
Maybe it'll be the first time ever.
I mean, I'm not trying to steer you. There is a team that has we'll see. I feel like there's at least one incoming at some point. And they're probably in their own tier if you want to make that argument. Philadelphia and Houston, Framber Valdez taking on Ranger Suarez. A lot of platoon advantage there for the Astros. At Ranger Suarez, not necessarily somebody I want to pick on. Framber, I never pick on him. I shouldn't say never, but why would you? Keeps the ball on the ground. Doesn't get his face punched in. Pretty good strikeout guy. I don't see any reason to play any of these teams, at least for me. If either one of them is the top team on the board, the number one on the podium, I'm closing the old laptop. How about yourself? Your Astros and the Phillies, where are you throwing them in the tiers?
These teams are still tipping, Dean. Teams are still tipping. 4-4. 4-4, both of them. Both they're tier 4.
They're tipping?
Still tipping. Come on, Dean.
Dude, I'm old. What does that mean? I know it.
We've had this conversation before.
Tipping?
Still tipping on 4-4s. It's 4-4s.
Oh yeah. We have had this conversation
Jones,
before.
The old Paul Wall, Mike Jones. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's.
All credibility for me is out the window.
I mean, look, Framber, of course, like you said, what am I going to do with that? Don't need to do that. And then Ranger Suarez, I get the platoon advantage, but Suarez is actually a very high quality pitcher, even left-handed. He's a high quality guy, man. And I'd be much more inclined to play Ranger Suarez than to roster a stack against him tonight. He's a good pitcher that can get it done. So I don't want to stack either one of these teams.
I'm with you. I'd play the pitchers before the hitters. I would not do that in this game. Dodgers, Rockies, 12 total. Dodgers getting 7.6 of those runs. Rockies get the remaining 4 and change. Erman Marquez, not great anymore. Once upon a time was pretty solid. We're getting an opener situation with the Dodgers. We're expecting Jack Dreyer to draw the starts, and Robleski is the expected long man there for the Dodgers. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy, Teoscar, Pajes, Conforto, and Edmonds. So 1 through 9. I think you go by 1 through 9 on the Dodgers, up and down. Conforto, this is the theme of the show. He's stunk this year. He's not been good. And not even TJ or you are going to argue with that. He's been bad. He's cheap, though, and he swings to the left side. And, once upon a time, he used to be able to hit baseballs pretty hard.Maybe tonight is a breakout for him. Where do you have LA and the Rockies?
So the Rockies, I'm gonna put the Rockies in tier 3. I don't know, man. I wanted to put them higher, but I just can't. There's just not a particularly good lineup, and I hate the whole here's an opener. He's gonna get you for 3 or 6 outs, and then somebody else is gonna. I hate dealing with that for an offense. So tier 3 at best. The Dodgers finally we're gonna put somebody in Golden State. They're a tier 1. He's a 7.6 team total just doesn't come around very often. So they're definitely in a good spot. And Dean, I don't know if you knew this, and you do if you read the survey today, but did you know Max Muncy, these last couple of years, he's been really bad, and he's been battling an eye stigmatism, Dean, and they got him some glasses, man. And since they got him these glasses, this guy's been like freaking the best hitter in baseball, man. He's got like a 18% walk rate, only a 16% strikeout rate, off the charts with his contact and power, and like, so maybe the glasses are doing something for him. So definitely going to include Max Muncy in my Dodger stacks tonight. Yeah,
much like Charlie Sheen, in Major League, the glasses definitely turn things around for him. It's always weird to me, like you didn't realize this. This is your job, right? Wasn't Jameis Winston the guy that got the eye fixed at some point in his career?
I don't know. He has 2012 vision. That's pretty incredible. 2012 vision. Like 2020's superb. Like 2012. It just so happens that the dominant eye was his left eye, which he's a left-handed hitter. So, that's not the eye he really needed to see out of. I don't know how they did it, but they gave him something, man, some kind of weird goggles, and he's hitting his ass off.
TJ claims to have 25 vision. Can he read the bottom line from the logo? Can you read the bottom line on the eye chart? Is it how strong is 25?
Yeah, I can.
You can read the bottom line from the logo.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. You're like a superhero, TJ. No wonder why you gravitate to the superhero.
Yeah, it is like I always call it my eyesight, like the one like real genetic blessing I got, because I have these bad back, bad hips. I'm not all that tall. I'm not very fast, but man, can I see? Man, can I see?
You can spot those raccoons on your way back from Maine.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Saskatoon. What are you talking about? He's not in Maine.
It's an old Seinfeld bit, Dean. Come on, man.
I was visiting Tim.
I thought you were confusing Tim and TJ. I'm not catching any of your pop culture references today. Bad job by me.
You don't remember the Seinfeld episode? I was spotting those raccoons all the way back.
Yes, I think when they went to
you dummy, those were mailboxes. I didn't have the heart to tell you. Come on, Dean.
Yeah,
bro.
Yes, was that when Kramer was a mailman? He took over for Newman's route.
No.
No?
I think it was, I want to say George thought he saw Jerry's girlfriend or something doing something nefarious.
She was naked. She was sunbathing naked.
No, I think you're all.
I'm confusing. They're on vacation. We'll move on. There's a lot of Seinfeld
No,
episodes.
that is a whole different episode, but you're okay. Move
Crochet's throwing baseballs tonight versus Tyler Anderson. The Angels have a 3.5 total. Boston is the heavy favorite. We don't see that very often these days. Minus 169. That is Boston taking on the Angels. Crochet, biggest K rate in the slate, lowest Sierra on the slate. The Angels will strike out versus righties a fair bit. Yeah. So if you like the leverage thing, I suppose have at it, but I'm not doing it. Not in this particular instance. Angels, Red Sox, your thoughts?
The Angels against Crochet is a clear-cut tier 5. Like, that's not even a thing right there. Boston, man, Tyler Anderson stinks, and but the lineup is weakened now, and so they're just a tier 3. I don't know what to do with those guys, so I'm gonna put them in tier 3. But I just don't know, man. No Devers, and some of those other guys are struggling. I really would like to just pick on Tyler Anderson a little bit. I don't know that I can pick on him with this Boston lineup.
Chop, the fifth clue. We'll be scrolling here for Fleet Tuesday. We already have a winner. Hot Pot Luck MVP. Ringless is the last clue. Chop, you're on the wrong sport right now. Just a heads up. You're guessing. That's fine. It's just kind of, I'm trying to steer you back in the right direction. We're playing the game here in our private chat, and some are still playing there in the YouTube as well. We already got a winner a couple guesses ago. 2 more games to go, as well as we have the old BBP suggestion of the day. We have the knockers. We have Spidey Bombs. When you hit that like button, when you subscribe, you turn on notifications. And it's the Nats versus the Padres. Ryan Bergert versus Trevor Williams. Bergert has been really good as far as, the raw numbers. The ERA is spectacular in a small sample, 1.88, but it looks like he's been very lucky from a BABIP perspective, from a left-on base perspective. He's walking too many guys. He's not striking out enough. And, people are not going to play Wood and Abrams again. It's just not going to happen, not in this slate, and you certainly should consider it if you're playing some large field stuff. Where do you have San Diego and Washington?
Yeah, Wood and Abrams single-handedly won you a GPP last night with their combined 21 total bases. Just an incredible performance by those guys last night. They were just off the charts.
Very vengeful.
Yeah. But I think just because of that connection and what they have, and I'm going to put them in tier 3. Like, I can't go any higher than that for Washington. But I'll put them in tier 3 just for the heck, just because they deserve it. That's a heck of a 1-2 punch. San Diego, on the other hand, that's a team I do like, and that's a team that's going to go up to tier 2 for me. I do want to pick on Trevor Williams, especially with the lefties in this lineup. Trevor Williams kind of stinks. Not a great ballpark for hitting, but I mean, look at Wood and Abrams last night. It didn't bother them, so maybe it doesn't bother Merrill and Tatis and Machado and some of those guys. So that's a tier 2 team. San Diego's really solid.
Trevor Williams versus lefties this year, a 204 ISO, which is too high, and a whopping 420 right in the nose, 420 WOBA, which is not good. Last game, Cavernous Ballpark, the old man Justin Verlander throwing baseballs against Cal Quantrill. Quantrill, probably one of the worst pitchers on the slate. A player that's just going to be lost here is Rafael Devers. Like, it feels like a great Rafael Devers spot against Cal Quantrill. Yaz is leading off. Devers, Ramos, Flores, Lee, Adames, Schmidt, Bailey, and Koss. No Marlins lineup just yet, but you know the deal. Spoiler, it's going to stink. Where are you putting Miami and San Fran?
Well, Miami, Verlander's not been great, but Miami's not a good offense. Just a tier 4. Miami's just a tier 4 team for me, nothing more than that. San Fran's the intriguing one. Hate the hitting environment, but like you said, adding Rafi Devers to that lineup has really boosted everybody. It's a terrible pitcher, Cal Quantrill, a bad bullpen following him. If it was a better hitting environment, they may go number 1. But because of where this game is going to take place, San Fran's going to be a tier 2 for me.
All right, let me go ahead and recap the board, Chop. We'll get the knockers out to the people as well as the old BBP suggestion. So if TJ can throw that board up on the screen, I would Much appreciated. Unless it disappeared. Oh, I think the board might have crashed on us. How about this, Chop? Give me the knockers and the BEP suggestion, and maybe we can recap the board afterwards.
Let's see, Dean. So the BVP suggestion of the day. It actually came down to two guys who are really, really in the same tier. I'm gonna give the BVP suggestion of the day before, and then you can recap the board, Dean. I'm gonna go ahead and make a judgment call here and override the algorithm, Dean. I'm gonna give it to Alex Verdugo. I see he made the lineup tonight, so I'm giving it to Alex Verdugo. He was neck and neck with Alec Burleson, who's hot. Now, do I like me some Alec Burleson, but I'm gonna go with Verdugo there. So Verdugo's the BVP suggestion of the day. You're on mute again, brother. You're on mute again.
No. Is it somebody he's homered against? No,
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah, I mean, did he get a double against the guy at least, Frankie Montas? Just like Verdugo, there's just no power there.
He's in the lineup. He's in the
lineup.
And,
he's professionally trained to hit baseballs.
You know, if he's been able to have some relative success against this pitcher before, then he really ought to be able to see the ball good coming out of his hands now, because Montas kind of stinks. Recap that board, and then I'll do the knockers, Dean.
Well, here we go. Thank you, TJ. TJ's making it work. If you're joining us, we ranked Kevin Durant's performance, his teams through the years. This is his 15, the Rockets. They're in the middle. Up top, Golden State. Golden State hanging out with just one team. It's Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers. A completely absurd, completely ridiculous 7.5 team total on the road, locked in for 9 against Aramon Marquez and a rocky bullpen. The OKC Thunder, that's Atlanta, Milwaukee, Chicago, San Diego, and the Giants. In the middle, we have Chops, Rockets. It's Minnesota, Arizona, St. Louis, Colorado, Boston, and Washington. Phoenix, the Yankees. The Yankees, despite the projections, the Yankees are in Phoenix, as well as Cincinnati, Seattle, Kansas City, Chicago, Philly, Houston, and the Marlins. And in the 5-hole with the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie and Harden. We'll talk about Harden in a second. The Mets, the Pirates, the Rays, and the Angels. Chop, knockers. Go for it.
Yeah, Dean, I've been to San Diego one time in my whole life, and San Diego has some of the best knockers you'll find in Major League Baseball. So we're going to San Diego for some more knockers tonight. Jackson Merrill, Gavin Sheets. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Low owned. Nice little mini stack there.
I've been to San Diego once in my life as well. It was nice. I enjoyed it. We went to a restaurant. One of those. One of the things I remember, amongst other things, is we went to one of those like insult restaurants. You know, like you're basically you come in there, you get a warning that they're going to insult you and make fun of you. Because it's fun. It's fun. It's a fun little gimmick. I think it was called
the
Dick's.
Opposite of fun, dude. That sounds
I think it was called Dick's. No. I mean, you know what? We have Tim coming out in a second. He'll make a ruling.
Now I'm not surprised.
You don't think that's a fun? You just want to go to Applebee's every day?
You're saying because I don't want to get some corny insults thrown at me while I eat dinner that it has to be Applebee's. There's like a million other restaurants. No, I don't want to go to.
But it's just it's a one-off. Like, why not go? Chop, you don't like fun? It's enjoyable. Have a good time. You know, don't take it too seriously. Anyways, we'll see what Tim is the ruler of fun. He'll be on in a second, as well as Kevin Roth and Dave Potts. But yeah. Oh, let me tell you today's Sleet Tuesday. Chop. First clue was hot. Hot was in reference to the school this person went to, university. They were a Sun Devil. Pot is in reference to, after they score, they like to stir the pot. Come on, Chopper. Okay, luck luck is in reference to this person's number. They are lucky number 13. Former MVP. No rings. Former teammate of Kevin Durant. The names have mentioned on the show a couple times. It's James Harden, the beard.
Yeah. Is 13 lucky? I thought 13 was unlucky.
Well, it's he said he wore it because he wanted to debunk that theory. But they, lucky number 13, unlucky number 13, however you want to say it. But that's what we're doing. They were referencing the number. Okay. We still have 55 minutes until first pitch. Crunch time's going to bring you all home. Let's go ahead. Let's bring him in. It's Tim. It's Kevin Roth. And it's Tim. Tim twice. I don't know why I'm saying Tim 2 times. It's Dave Potts. Cheese is good. Let's do it. Crunch time. Has anybody ever been to one of those restaurants before? Tim, I know you're the Dave, I think Dave's
I just want to jump in and say, if you go with the right people, like for example, your somewhat elderly mom who doesn't understand humor, it can be fantastic and glorious.
So it's better. You want to make it more awkward. Yeah.
You want to make it so awkward on certain people. Yes. If
Do you
in,
tell
in
them
in the right group, it can be magical.
Do you
and I
give them
told
a
her
heads up?
going in. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And still, it was. I wish I could relive that.
Tim is the resident ruler on what is fun and what is not fun, and usually you rule on no fun. Does this sound like a fun idea? Have you ever partook in one of these restaurants?
I've been to one of those in Boston, and actually we had a fantastic time. So I do enjoy those. Yeah.
Chop, take the L.
No, I don't have. Dean, this is subjective, brother. I don't have to.
In Boston, I'm not sure you have to go to Dick's to get a rude way.
Just walk by Kirk Deese's house. He'll scream shit from the balcony.
That's just the standard. That's why people in Boston.
Rumor is Kirkwood's in the suburbs now, though, so we don't even know where he is. Yeah,
he's sold out.
Yeah, he's a sellout now.
I didn't know that. Where is Roth? Roth is in parts unknown as well, unless we had a makeover I was not aware of. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, just a little travel, but maybe I'll hit up a Dick's later on tonight if there's one around.
Bring the family. It's family fun.
Yeah, I bet it would go great for my 3 and 5-year-old. Yeah.
All right. Chop, anything else before we step aside and get out of here and make way for crunch time?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. That was Chop. I was Dean. Hit that like button. Do not go anywhere. Again, you have almost 53 minutes taking you all the way up the lock. Kevin's got you. I don't think there's anything dicey out there weather-wise. If something's changed, they'll be all over it. Yeah, not really. But Roth, I'm sure you'll cover it, whatever's lurking. It's Tasteful Tides, Tim Buell. It's Dave Potts, Cheese is Good. And Roth, take it away.
Good stuff. Welcome to it. You know the drill. It is crunch time. Two of the sharpest minds in the biz is going to take you up to lock. We might take you through lock. We might make fun of each other and wear stupid hats that insult one another. You never know what's going to happen on this show. But you know you get some good insight coming your way. Dave Potts, Cheese is Good in the house. What up, Cheese?
Well, not too much. This is a crazy slate. I ended up kind of loving it, but it's weird. It's weird, and I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Okay. We've got breaking boards in the YouTube chat. Says, I just Googled Dick's. Wouldn't recommend it. You got to be the restaurant. It's called Dick's Last Resort. You got to make sure you get it. Get the full thing in there. Otherwise, it's not going to end well for you. We got Tasteful Tides, Tim in the house as well. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I was out on the open water all day today. It's record heat up here in Maine. It was like 95 degrees where I live, which is completely unheard of. And so I went on a pretty long boat ride today.
2 questions. 1, were you fishing? And 2, isn't there a big portion of the population there that does not even have air conditioning? So when it gets really hot, people straight fall out and die.
I don't know about that, but most of us do not have air conditioning. Like in my house, we do not have air conditioning because I literally live 40 feet from the water. So usually we don't need it. About 5 days out of the year, we need it, I'd say.
Yeah. And just to be clear, people do die without, like, you won't, but like older people and kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's serious heat advisors going on all over the
Roth
state.
is so excited about the people that might die in Maine.
I know. I really don't want to talk about it, but he really wants to talk about it. So yeah.
Heat is the number one weather-related killer in the country. It's more tornadoes or hurricanes or flooding or anything. Heat, man. It's real. Tell me about the fishing. How did it go?
I don't fish. I was actually just watching sailboat racing for like 8 hours today.
You have to go out on the water to see. You can't see it from shore anymore?
No, I mean, you could see it literally from my living room, but I decided to go actually out on the water. So
the case for me visiting you just gets stronger and stronger every time I talk to you about like where you live and what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I live like right in the center of a national park, like right on the water too. So it's a really fantastic place if you like the outdoors.
It sounds incredible. Next time you go do that, all you need to do is bring a fishing pole You just drop it out, you leave it. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to do anything. And then fish bite it sometimes. And then you get the added excitement of reeling in a fish. It's freaking phenomenal.
I've actually won a huge ice fishing derby, Roth.
Jesus, you're cool. I love that for you. All right. Hey, let's talk about this slate. Weather-wise, not a whole lot. I don't know if I should say not a whole lot happening, or maybe more so not a whole lot that I think you should do anything about. There's like 8 games with the chance of a delay, and probably none of them end up getting delayed. I guess my 2 highest delay concerns would be St. Louis and Colorado. And still in those games, it's just a chance of a delay. That's it. And not even a really good one. My only concern, and I just have to add this, is that we're getting to the time of year where storms just like go up and they don't move. They just sit there. And so instead of storms moving, like, oh, you get a delay and then it's gone. A storm goes up and it sits there for 2-3 hours. It can cause some legitimate issues. That could happen in one of 8 games today, and it will probably happen in none. But that's just that's the way it is this time of year. Does that work for you, Cheese? You're not going to do anything about that.
Yeah, I don't hear anything and the 2 games you mentioned are the 2 with no pitchers at all anyway. So
Cool.
Good to go.
Okay. When you just said, yeah, I don't hear anything, I was like, are you ignoring me? Or?
Yeah, I don't hear anything that's going to change anything I'm doing. Everything you say is good news to me, just in general, forever.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. All right, well, that's it. My spiel is essentially done with no super helpful wins today. It's really hot all along the East Coast, as Tim mentioned, but that's pretty much it. That's the weather spiel. So let's talk pitchers. Tim, do you want to lead us off with some pitcher talk?
Yeah, I mean, I think this the decision point, the biggest decision point on this entire slate is what you do with Garrett Crochet. I am definitely playing him in cash games. I currently have him in my single entry GPP team as well. I think he's so clearly above and beyond, talent wise and matchup wise on this slate that he is actually my first priority. So Garrett Crochet is my SP1 by quite a bit. And then, of course, I know that we want to talk about pitching, but I have to mention Coors. We have to mention the Dodgers, and they're so expensive, and they're in a fantastic spot. So there are cases to be made to fade Crochet. I think there's reasonable cases to be made, and there's quite a bit of juicy pitchers in the mid-range that are a little bit cheaper than Crochet.
So the case being you can't get the Dodgers if you play Crochet, basically?
You can. I think you have to make some kind of like pretty significant sacrifices in terms of like raw point projection for your SP2 and raw point projection for your kind of like peripheral stacks. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of an interesting decision. Like it can be done. You can play Crochet, you can play Ohtani and some of the Dodgers, but you can't really play Crochet and all the expensive Dodgers. So it's
let me say that. So if you do Crochet with a $6,500 pitcher and Ohtani, you have $3,600 per bat left on DraftKings. That's doable, but you can't get 4 more Dodgers in that.
Yeah.
Or even 3 more. But sure, if that's what you want to do.
Okay. Tim, talk about some of those other options. You mentioned there are, plenty of other options, maybe at SP2 that you're looking at. What do you like?
Yeah. So, Spencer Strider, he obviously kind of was struggling to begin the season. He was hurt. And then he had a really amazing start against Colorado where he looked fantastic, but everyone looks fantastic against Colorado. So he's kind of an interesting GPP spot, I think, today against the Mets. He does have upside, but I don't think he's safe by any means for like cash. And obviously Crochet is way better. I think the safer SP2 would be Freddie Peralta at 9,200 against the Pirates. I think he would be my first guy down from Crochet. If I didn't want to play Crochet, I'd go to Peralta first. I think he's in a really fantastic spot against the Pirates. He's shown flashes of upside. I think he's got a really great floor against Pittsburgh. So I think Peralta would be my next guy in. If you didn't want to go Peralta, I think Chris Bubich at 9K going up against Tampa Bay. I think he's definitely got a pretty reasonable ceiling, and he's going to go fairly low owned, I think, in this spot. So he would be a really outstanding GPP play. Chase Burns, he's the Topps Reds prospect. He's making his debut against the Yankees today. He's 8K. pretty horrible or pretty tough matchup for your first start. But I mean, this guy is a big time prospect. And I guess he's consistently over 100 miles an hour. He's probably got pretty elite upside, but we just don't know. But I mean, this guy is supposed to be fantastic. And I don't think he's going to be owned because I believe he was put into the pool, the player pool in the middle of the day. Is that right, Cheese?
Yeah, it happened pretty early though. It was like 9:30 this morning, so he's been there long enough.
Okay, but still, I don't think he's gonna be that popular though. So I mean, I think at 8K he's fine for GPPs, and then I think the two cheap guys, I would go with maybe Tyler Anderson or Ryan Nelson. These are really just kind of like matchup type plays. Ryan Nelson's 6,500, Tyler Anderson's 6,400. I currently have Tyler Anderson as my SB2 and for single entry, but I'm not exactly thrilled with it. I'm just kind of trying to take a cheap shot. This Boston lineup is not great, especially against lefties. So I think both Nelson and Anderson would be my cheap guys if I was just looking to throw some cheap darts.
Okay, very good. Cheese, I'm intrigued what you're doing. I almost want you to start with the rookie in New York. That seems interesting, but maybe that's not the spot to start. I'll let you do your thing.
Oh, he's my second highest owned pitcher.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
I mean, if you look at his minor league numbers, he's basically a little better than Paul Skeens was in the minors. I mean, he's the number one prospect by far.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? It's his first start. It's the Yankees. It's in a home run ballpark. Like, of course, it could go badly. But most likely he's like a 10K pitcher, if not more.
Yeah.
So I love him. Yeah, I'm playing him. I agree with Tim that I think Crochet is just a priority over the Dodgers bats. I would play, like, if I was playing cash, which I don't, I would play Crochet and not worry about getting Ohtani or Freeman or any of those guys. Crochet is amazing and the matchup is glorious. Peralta, I don't honestly like. He's fine for cash. Like, I think Crochet Peralta is probably the most correct cash combo. I'm way under on Peralta in tournaments. I prefer Valdez right next to him. I prefer Strider. I love that nobody's playing Carlos Rodon, which, of course, you can't exactly play Crochet and Rodon, except I can. I have plenty of lineups with the two of them. Obviously, they don't have the Dodgers, but that's what that is. Then, Buich is fine. That's a bunch of good pitchers up there. Like, I don't think you should try to play all of them, which is why I'm going to choose to go underweight on Peralta. I think he's the chalkiest of the non-Crochet pitchers. And he does have the better matchup, but I think he's the worst pitcher among them. Like, they're all good pitchers, but I think they're all just skills-wise, Peralta's last among the list of aces. So I'm happy being underweight on him. Burns is the only guy in the mid-tier that I'm playing. Mid-tier being like mid-sevens to mid-eights on DraftKings. And I have him in a couple lineups on FanDuel as well. He's kind of in the same range. And then just like what Tim said, so Ryan Nelson and Tyler Anderson are probably the go-to cheap guys. Like, you're going to see a lot of Nelson, Anderson, Dodgers lineups. On their own, Nelson and Anderson are not like chalk, but they're kind of chalk with Dodger stacks. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
The Dodgers could absolutely score 35 runs, and that's what you need. And if Anderson and Nelson get 12, 15 points, which is perfectly reasonable, then you win, and that's great. I like some other offenses, so that's what I'm doing. I'm on Nelson over Anderson, but it's very close.
Did you talk Strider at all?
Yeah, so I don't know if I did or not. Strider is he's my third favorite pitcher, but probably second when factoring in salary. I do like Carlos Rodon at no ownership over all these other guys other than Crochet, but Strider being a little bit cheaper, like, he's my third. I would go Crochet, Rodon, Strider if salary's no issue, and Valdez fourth.
Okay. And then I want to talk FanDuel, but also I'm seeing, what is this, fifth on our list here is Justin Robleski. You didn't mention him. I assume you don't want to play him, but I've got to ask.
I mean, he's probably the long reliever for the Dodgers.
Okay. He's not even full run.
I mean, he is $5,500 on DK and will throw some baseballs against the Rockies. I'm not. I didn't consider him at any point. But you're allowed to play a cheap pitcher against the Rockies anytime if that's what you feel like you want to do.
Yeah. Let's go over to FanDuel here. Boney says, do we like Burns and FanDuel single entry? Just in general, are there any differences there, or is it essentially the same pricing, same ideas?
Very similar pricing and very same ideas. Like it's a little easier to get Crochet. And I love him. And you see basically the same kind of drop down. I think Strider is a little more valuable on FanDuel because he's cheaper than Peralta. So I think he's the clear second guy there. And then you get the same basic drop to Burns. He's 8,200 on FanDuel versus 8 on DK. I don't think I have anything below Burns. Anything short of the full Dodgers stack, the salary's not that big of an issue tonight on FanDuel. And those other cheap guys like Tyler Anderson and Ryan Nelson are not. I mean, they're just a couple $100 cheaper than Burns. So I don't really like them there.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk stacks real quick. Did get a question from Alex. Is Nelson a pitcher you can roster in cash, Tim, or are you just doing too much?
I don't. I guess I don't mind it, but I think it's incorrect to play him in cash.
Okay,
I don't absolutely hate it, but I don't think it's correct.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Let's still have more questions coming in, but we've got a lot to get through. So let's go to stacks. I'll get back to those questions in a bit. Cheese, we've got a lot of great pitching options. I know we've got at least one good hitting option in LA. I don't know what else we've got. So what do you like?
There's a lot.
Okay.
I mean, like obviously the Dodgers are ahead of everyone. If salary's no thing, like you would just play the Dodgers. But it's quite a thing. Like they really did a great job with the pricing. That you can't just play the Dodgers with good pitching. It's not,
which is great,
even possible, which is perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm choosing to be under on the Dodgers and over on the expensive pitching. If you flip it, I think that's fine too. Like, of course, you can make the case that the Dodgers just break the slate and you can't win without them. But I like a lot of other offense. If I'm trying to narrow it down, I would probably go Braves next, Diamondbacks, Cardinals, Cubs, Padres, Giants. There's plenty more, but that's kind of my favorite group up top.
Okay. Tim, your favorite stack or stacks?
Yeah, so favorite stacks, not name the Dodgers, who are the clear top stack. I would say I really like the Royals today. The Cardinals, I think that's a really fantastic hitting weather spot as well. So the Cardinals would be up there for me. The Cubs and probably the Braves. Dean on the last show had a really nice breakdown about Atlanta going up against Frankie Montas. So I do like Atlanta quite a bit tonight.
Tim, you mentioned the Dodgers are the number one stack. Like, okay, we all expect they will score the most runs, but are they the number one stack factoring in price first and then maybe also factoring ownership? Like, are they going to be chalky?
Yeah, I mean, I think pieces of the Dodgers are going to be quite chalky. Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to be the top raw point scoring stack. But that only means so much. If they only score 7 runs tonight, they're not going to be a GBB winning stack, not even close. So I mean, but if they score 20, then you're going to need parts of that stack to win the GBB. I'm pretty sure. So currently, I'm full fading them in single entry, and then I currently only have like a couple pieces in cash. Mainly Shohei Ohtani in cash games, but I'm not playing Ohtani in single entry right now. So
Cheese, how much Dodgers do you have?
Close to none. It's not none, but it close to none. Closer to none than some.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Let's go around the horn, talk position by position, give out some home run calls, and get back to some of these questions. Tim, let's start at catcher. I see the Mariners are they're on the board, and so I'm pretty sure I know who I'm supposed to play. But go ahead, walk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, how good is Cal Raleigh? Yeah, I mean, he's
30
fantastic.
bombs, I think 30, right?
Yeah, I thought it was 29, but you might be right. It might be 30. But yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable. Will Smith at 5,900, he's unbelievable. Also, I mean, not as good as Cal Raleigh, but in a really good spot tonight at 5,900.
31
Goodman.
bombs.
What's that?
31 for the dumper. 31
30.
homers.
Oh
32.
wow! I did not
32?
know that.
32.
They keep you can't
According
keep
to
up
Fangraphs,
because
32.
by the time
Yeah.
we say 32, we just did another one. It's 33. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
crazy,
yeah,
right?
I mean, he's fantastic, but he is really, really expensive tonight, which he should be. So, I mean, he's kind of a tough click, but I mean, he's obviously fantastic. Catcher is really loaded, but yeah, good. Hunter Goodman, 4,600. I mean, he's a good salary saving option. I think Drake Baldwin is a decent price point play as well. Sal Perez at 3,500 if you need the salary. I do like this Royal stack quite a bit. So I think he's a good price. If you're looking for somebody maybe under 3K, Pedro Pajes at 2,800, I think he's a decent play as well. But yeah, I think Sal Perez or Hunter Goodman's your cash game catcher tonight.
Yeah. Cheese, your favorite sayer catcher?
Yeah, catcher is awesome. Every position is kind of awesome, but really catcher. So, yeah, Cal Raleigh plus the two guys in cores are definitely the top three. But there's a lot of lineups, even with Goodman at 46. There's a lot of lineups you can't get there. I agree with it would probably be Sal Perez in cash games. I think just because that's like he could be $5,000, and I wouldn't really yell at anyone. As far as like super cheap stuff, I'm playing a little bit of Henry Davis. I do think, as far as people that are just overrated in general, Freddie Peralta is top of the list. I'll always play a cheap guy for a homer against him. But I don't love punting at catcher because it's great. Tim mentioned Baldwin. I think he's really good as well. Yeah, that's enough.
Okay. How about first base?
So we got the Dodgers on DK Ohtani, Freeman on both sides. Again, I'm under on the Dodgers. You do what you do. I like Olsen essentially as much as Freeman. He's pretty expensive too, but I think he's worth it. Toglia is probably the most popular of the cheap guys, and he's fine. I like Hoskins better than Toglia. On FanDuel, I like Michael Bush. I like Miguel Vargas. Pavin Smith. I think that's probably enough. I'm sure I have one Ryan Noda in there. 21. Like every position, there's this one guy who's like 2,100. That's what allows you to get Crochet and Strider, plus a couple big bats. So I'll mention a couple of them as we go.
Yeah. Okay. Tim, first base.
Yeah, first base is not as strong as I was thought it would be outside of Ohtani. I am fading Ohtani in single entry, playing him in cash. Toglia at 3,400, I think is a great value. I love Vinny P in single entry. So I'm playing him at 4K in single entry tonight. So he's like my top overall GPP first baseman. Obviously I love Matt Olson. Ben Rice, I think is fine as like a one-off. I'm not super high on the Yankees tonight, but wouldn't be shocked if they get to the young rookie. So I think he's okay. Spencer Steer, I think, is an interesting value play. Probably going to be quite contrarian as well. But yeah, so I think Vinny P is my top overall GPP first baseman.
Okay, let's go to second base, Tim.
Yeah, so Tommy Edman at 4,200. He's batting ninth, but he is a reasonably priced part of that Dodger stack. So I think he's fine for cash or as part of a GPP Dodger stack. I really like Brandon Donovan batting leadoff for the Cardinals. 3,800. I think you can play him in cash games. You can play him in GPP. I know Jonathan India has not been great so far this season, but I think he's a really, really cheap piece leadoff hitter on that Royals stack. I don't mind Jake Cronenworth at 3,200 either. I think there's some really, really strong points per dollar plays at second tonight. This is not really a position outside of maybe maybe Ozzy Albies that I would like be spending that much salary on.
Yeah. Cheese, second base.
I like spending to Marte to be different. I think he's a great spin up to be different. But assuming you can't get him, I like the guys Tim mentioned as well as Nolan Gorman. I think Gorman and Cronenworth are my two highest owned. You definitely want, not just want, you kind of need Edman in Dodger stacks because of the salary. And same with Albies and the Braves. I don't mind. I would play Albies on his own ahead of Edman, but I prefer saving with Cronenworth or Gorman.
Yeah.
If I can't get up to Marte.
Sure. Let's go to third.
It's pretty great at third. Muncy I think Muncy will be the most popular Dodger, probably even more than Ohtani. Just he's so much cheaper, and he has the same kind of power upside in a best case scenario. But I like Riley and Machado. That's who I'm playing ahead of Muncy. And so most of the guys who are cheap at first or second are third base as well. I don't know about most, but there's a lot of guys that are kind of all over the place. But we can do, if you need to go cheap, we also have Brooks Lee, who's amazing. And Luis Castillo is not a good pitcher anymore. Like, he's just a guy throwing baseballs. So the Twins in general are playable, but I like him mostly just for filling in with cheap guys. So Lee, Vargas, again, Miguel Vargas, as well as Vargas in Arizona stacks, the other Vargas. I think that's it. Essentially, Muncy the chalk. I prefer Riley and Machado to be different. And then those cheap guys. Also, Casey Schmidt is a guy I have on the cheap side.
Okay. TJ was very worried there that you were not going to mention Brooks Lee for a minute. It is officially, apparently, Brooks Lee night. Do you agree with that?
That's
Wow.
I mean, is it a night at all? Then yes.
Okay. Brooks Lee night indeed. Tim, third base.
Yeah, I love the Austin Riley call over Muncy. I actually prefer Devers over Muncy and Riley. I love Devers as a one-off tonight. Love Manny Machado. I don't mind that Miguel Vargas call, just as like a cheap fill-in play at third. I don't mind Isaac Paredes at 4,400 either. I think he's a pretty decent play as well. I do agree with Cheese that Muncy will probably be the most popular Dodger. So he's definitely a piece of chalk to consider fading in GPP. And I think there's some really good players right around that same price point that we talked about, like Riley, Devers, Machado, all right there. Great contrarian plays. But yeah, I think as of right now, I'm going to be using Devers in my single entry team.
Okay. That brings us to shortstop, I do believe. Tim, what do you like there?
Yeah, so I actually prefer Ellie De La Cruz and Bobby Witt over Mookie Betts. Like, obviously, the Dodgers are in a fantastic spot, but shortstop's absolutely loaded tonight. So you can get different and not play Mookie. Like I said, the Royals are my favorite, so Bobby Witt's my guy tonight. But I think this is definitely a position where I'm going to be looking to spend some salary on one of these guys, one of these super studs.
Yeah. Cheese, shortstop.
Yeah, I don't really like Mookie Betts at all. He's not even in my Dodgers stacks.
Wow.
The reason he's not one of the 5 best Dodgers hitters. Like, he's really not that good right now. Like,
yeah,
he's not hitting the ball hard. Bottom line, he's just not. And all the other Dodgers are. If you look at like barrel rate, he's dead last on the team. Like,
wow,
behind Tommy Edman. Like, it's not even close. Like, he's the worst. Now, he's still a great real life hitter, and there's still power in there. Like, I know it's in there, but I just think as Dodgers go, I think he should not be your priority.
Okay.
That being said, he'll hit 4 home runs tonight.
Yeah.
But
he's the highest owned shortstop.
Yeah, just because of the Dodgers thing. I understand why, but I strongly prefer Bobby Witt over him. Not even kind of close. And then sneaky CJ Abrams, I think, is interesting. if you're spending up. And then I like Willie Adames and Mason Wynn and Trevor Story.
Very good. We get to go to the outfield now. Cheese, you get the honor of bringing us there. I missed what Ohtani's price, 7.2.
Yeah.
I mean, holy hell. Can you click that? Like 7.2? That's wild. Cheese, you're not clicking that because you're not playing a whole lot of Dodgers.
No, I mean, if you really look at how many times he's hit a number you would need for 7,200, I mean, it's, I don't know, twice a month maybe. Like,
Yeah.
I get that he's great, and he is great,
course.
and it's great, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and it's fantastic, and it's great. But I don't know why you would, because it's not like we don't have other great plays. Like Lars Nootbaar probably, scores 18. Do you need Ohtani's 22? Not really.
Yeah.
So he and Judge and Acuna are all so very pricey. You can put Tucker and PCA up there. It's pretty hard to play those guys. Out of that group, I like Acuna and the Cubs better than Ohtani and Judge. By all means, play Ohtani and Judge anytime, sure. But I'm personally under. I like Tatis a lot. I love Jackson Merrill. I like Helio Ramos. These are all like mid-tier things. Jordan Beck. I don't have a lot of Rocky stacks, but I do like Goodman and Beck as one-offs. And then Nootbaar, I mentioned. I like Arizona, so Gurriel. They've got a bunch of cheap outfielders now. Grichuk, McCarthy, Thomas. I would go in that order on them. Gurriel, Grichuk, McCarthy, Thomas. Gavin Sheets, I like a lot. Michael Harris is cheap. Dominic Canzone is cheap. That's enough names. There's good ones in every pricing tier.
Yeah. By the way, Dean coming with the stats to back you up, Cheese. Betts is currently 23rd percentile at MLB when it comes to barrel rate. That is not very good. 20. That doesn't mean
it's not.
Yeah,
it's bottom.
That's like lower bottom.
It's just he's just not elite right now.
Yeah.
He can get back there. He can get back there tonight, but I don't think he measures up to the other Dodgers.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Dave, are you playing any Colorado?
Yeah. So I've got Goodman and Beck essentially are who I'm playing. I have a couple stacks. I don't love the stack, but I do love those guys. And Toglia.
Mm-hmm.
So Goodman, Beck, Toglia as mini stack is my favorite way to go with it.
Yep.
And then if that turns in a couple times, that like turned into a stack salary wise where I needed like Ritter or something. But essentially, I just like those top three.
Okay. Yeah. Tim, your thoughts on the outfield, please.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all of Ohtani, Judge, Acuna, fantastic. I really like Kyle Tucker and Fernando Tatis as GPP contrarian one-offs, perhaps. I don't mind like a James Wood or a Jackson Merrill. Elliot Ramos. I kind of like the Giants tonight against Quantrill, and I don't think they're going to be played very heavily. Same thing with like Pete Crow Armstrong. Those Cubs are going to go super low owned, and I think they've got pretty massive upside as well. Lars Nootbaar, Alec Burleson for like under 4K options. I really like tonight. I've talked about how I like St. Louis. I really like Kansas City as well. So definitely some of those cheaper options. Gavin Sheets, 3,500. I think he's a really, really nice value as well. I think that's really it. I do like that Ken Zone call at 2,700, just for like a super, super cheap outfielder option.
Okay. The boys and the girls in the chat, they want some home run calls. That's what they're always clamoring for. We need to give them some bombs. So think about some cheese bombs, some TastefulTides bombs. And in the meantime, I'm going to give the people the best deal in the industry. MLB DFS annual option, $425. But we dropped the price of our Combo Pro to match the MLB annual package. So basically, you're getting 6 months for the price of one sport. You get all the sports. And obviously you should do that. And you save 35% by going 6 month instead of month by month by month. As Cheese is well aware, football right around the corner. Right there. There it is. He saw it. Make sure you're signing up. We got a good deal, and you should take advantage of it. Let's do some home run calls. Cheese, who's hitting bombs?
On the high end, let's go with Matt Olson. And mid-tier wise, how about Jackson Merrill? And then a cheap Randall Grichuk.
Okay. Tim, you got a few names for me as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go Vinny P. And I'm going to go Rafael Devers.
Very good, gentlemen. We have 14 minutes. We zoomed through that. We got 14 minutes here until lock. Should give us more than enough time for any questions. If you have any questions, get them in. They can be about baseball. They can be about fishing. And they can be about dinner. Those are those are the three options allowed. Cheese, you fish?
Occasionally. My dad fishes, so I go fishing when I see my dad. Like,
Okay.
I don't think I've ever just gone, like, made a plan to go fishing and go, but I'm happy to go fishing.
It's a lot of work to like go just the prep work is a lot.
I need someone else to do all the prep work for me, basically, is what it comes down to.
I get that. Yeah. I'm that guy. We'll go
so if you tie the stuff that needs to be tied and have the whatever equipment we need that I would forget, I'll go.
You know what they do in your neck of the woods, Cheese, is noodling. You ever hear of noodling?
I have not partaken.
Yeah.
I eat noodles, but
yeah. Tim,
no,
you know
I'm
what
aware
noodling
that
is?
I have a dog named Noodle.
No, that is
Really?
an awesome dog name. You go up to the catfish hole, the catfish are under there, and you jam your fist in the catfish hole, and the catfish bites it like it's a giant worm, and you pull out the catfish on your hand while it eats your arm. That is noodling. Do you have any interest in that?
That doesn't sound amazing.
No.
I'd probably pass.
No, I just Googled this because I was curious, and it's not legal in Maine. It's only legal in certain states. Of course, it's legal here.
Yeah.
For you, Kevin, but Tim cannot go noodling.
Okay.
Legally.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry for you, Tim. I know that's a devastating blow. All right. Let's see if we've got any questions in the chat coming in. I am always looking in the Discord where the cool kids hang out, and of course the YouTube as well. By the way, we need some likes. Haven't done any like groveling yet. Dean says, wait till Roth finds out it's a 7-10 start. There's no way. There's 50 freaking games on the slate. Dean's messing with me. We got the Spidey Mom scrolling on the bottom. Number 1, PCA at plus 425. Number 2, Tyler Stevenson at plus 470. And then Luke at plus 550. So 3 Spidey Bombs. If you keep hitting that like button, you might get a 4th. You might even get a 5th. Let's see what we got. Some QQs. Brian says, hey, Roth, what's for dinner? I don't know yet. I'm on the road. I gotta figure that out, man. Cheese, Joseph asks, Acuna and Steer or Ohtani Solano?
Ohtani Solano.
Okay. We just got a big trade in the NBA. Tim, you seeing this?
I see that Zinger is now a Hawk.
Everybody wants that guy, and then everybody wants to get rid of that guy. He's good. I don't know why he can't stick anywhere. I guess injuries, but man, I will look more into that trade because I am intrigued. Let's see. Here we go. This is a good one. Tim, what's the cheapest pitcher you would use in a big DKGPP?
I probably wouldn't go below Anderson. Yeah, Anderson's probably the cheapest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cheese, do you have a different answer? Or are you there as well?
No, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, Anderson at 64.
Okay. We'll go to Chris. Tim, coming right back to you. FanDuel GPP. Crochet is a must start or save with Strider to get some better bats. This is for a FanDuel GPP.
I think if that's the issue, I would just stick with Crochet. Like I know that Strider's a little bit cheaper, and maybe you can upgrade like a couple bats, but I would just stick with Crochet.
Yeah. All right. Cheese, coming to you for a few here. Frederick says, give me the team stack that wins a single entry GPP. So what stack is taking down a GPP, Cheese?
The
single
Padres.
entry. Padres. Okay. Let's see. Do you need a noodling license, Eric asks, or do you need a fishing license? Man, that is a good question. I do not know. Let's see. Cheese, Burns and Solano or Nelson and Pavin Smith?
Nelson Pavin.
Okay. John says noodling sounds about as much fun as playing a White Sox stack. That's good. That's good. I like that. Acuna versus Montas, home run. I don't know. MB said, who's going to hit a home run, Acuna or Montas, Tim?
Acuna against Montas.
I think he's just making a statement.
Yeah, and I don't mind that statement at all.
Sorry, I don't do the baseball.
If Montas hits a home run tonight, then there's going to be stuff going on.
That's my bad. I just outed myself as a not baseball watcher. It's true. Yeah. I'm just here to do the weather.
If that's a question, if Acuna is a great play, yes, Acuna is.
Yeah, Acuna really is a great play.
All right, my bad, MB. Concern about Crochet facing the #1 ISO team, Tim, against left-handed pitching in the Angels. I know they strike out a ton too, but I'm a little scared of that ISO.
Listen, you have every right to be scared if you don't want to play Crochet, but I mean, I'm not that nervous about it.
There is no pitcher in the league who has been more matchup proof than him. I mean, he's faced the Mariners, the Braves, the Mets, I'm just running thinking what's in my head. Like, none of them have hit him. So, I mean, you can be scared of whatever, but if he strikes out 12 batters, a couple of home runs aren't going to hurt him.
Yeah. Okay. Got a few questions from the Discord. FanDuel single entry Cheese, one-off Anthony or Rob Rep? Is that Ref Schneider?
Ref Schneider,
yeah.
I prefer Anthony.
Okay. Ruthless Villain says, hey, Tim, his dog say hello to your dog. I'm saying hi to Noodle over there. Hey, Noodle.
Yeah, all 4 of my dogs.
Yeah. You have 4 dogs?
I got 4 dogs. 4 dogs, 3 cats, 5 guinea pigs.
Do you seriously have 5 guinea pigs too?
I do, yeah.
Now you need 2 of something and 1 of something.
That's true.
Yeah, we gotta round it out. Cheese, how about a Seattle stack versus Paddock? Sure.
I do like Seattle. Yeah. I have more mini stacks, but full stacks totally fine.
Yeah. Tim, it's a DK Cash question. First 3 bats in. P.S. Thanks for all your work, fellas. You're welcome.
Yeah, so first 3 bats in for cash.
Yep.
Probably I would go Ohtani 1, Tyler Freeman, and then I'm going Sal Perez. I know optimizers like Hunter Goodman a lot, but I'm going Sal Perez.
Okay. We did get a late start. I don't know if you saw that in Detroit. Not that we care, because I realize it's not on the slate, but for anyone who may be concerned, it's fine. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. If you're doing something other than playing in the usual slate. Also, I had to look up Dean's outrageous comment that we weren't starting at 7:05, and it turns out he is correct, and that is unfortunate. So we'll hang out until we run out of questions or we hit lock. Update a weather update on the Cardinals game, which is in St. Louis, right? Cheese Cardinals game.
That is correct.
Let's just see what's going on over there real quick. I mean, there's nothing on radar now, and there will eventually be a few showers, a few storms that pop up. And I just, it is unlikely to go over the ballpark, but it is certainly possible. The coverage is maybe 20%. Maybe they end up with a storm. Probably not. Let's see where we're at here. Scrolling up just a little bit to catch up, guys. When building lineups, Cheese, do you prefer to have something going in the 9 Eastern window to have that late hammer, or does it not factor into your build at all? I feel like it shouldn't, but maybe it does.
If it factors into your build, you're doing everything way wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Tim, agreement? You don't.
I completely agree.
Yeah, you're not trying to look for the late night hammer. Tim, I got a couple coming for you. DK Cash, Crochet Beck, or Strider Tatis?
You're going Crochet and Cash. Like, I think you basically have to.
Okay. Maryi Donesi just says, love Tim. Love him. Love that guy. You know what?
Second.
Yeah. Third. All in agreement.
All in favor. Aye.
Cheese, who's your favorite White Sox? Yeah,
Vargas.
and it just says, who's your favorite White Sox? Because White Sox is plural, but it could be singular or plural. I don't know.
Yeah. My favorite White Sock is Miguel Vargas.
Give me two more.
My favorite White Sox is Miguel Vargas and Luis Robert, and Ryan Noda.
Very good. Is a brewer stack chalky, Tim? Is a brewer stack chalky?
No.
Nothing is chalky other than LA, and I'm not even sure that's chalky. Is that fair to say?
It's going to be super spread out tonight. The Brewers are definitely not going to be chalky at all.
Yeah. Is Tim or Dave playing the White Sox as a secondary team?
I'm playing a little mini 2-man in my primary single entry team, actually.
Okay.
Same. I don't have any full stacks, but I do have some 2s and 3s.
Okay. Tim, coming back to you from Keith, Raleigh and Robleski, or Will Smith and Nelson, by both Seattle and LA stacks.
I mean, it's pretty hard to bet against the big dumper right now, but I guess I'm just going to go with the Smith Nelson because I do prefer Nelson over Roblowski by quite a bit.
Okay. Cheese, Lee is making you work for this favorite third baseman, 3K and under on DK. So cheapy at third.
Vargas is 31, so now I have to look. Brooks Lee.
I was just going to say. Your favorite child.
I have him written down at second, but third base. He's 20. Sure. He's the same price at both positions, magically.
And it's Brooks Lee Knight, right? That's the dude whose night it is. It's Brooks Lee Knight.
Every night.
Every night it is, yeah. But apparently he's hitting third. Is that?
I mean, he's been hitting third this has been happening for a while. He's so very legit. I mean, he's hit in 18 of his last 20 games or so. I mean, he's totally legit in every way. Like, this is not a bit. Like, he's just a very
he's
good
actually good.
player.
I love that. Negative Creep says, love cheese. Second that. Yeah, we do. We love us some cheese. Let's see. Somebody's going to hit a double Spidey. Who would be your guess? Who's hitting 2 bombs? I feel like the only answer is Ohtani or Cal Raleigh, but maybe there's another one.
Vinny P.
Vinny P. Cheese, who's hitting 2 bombs?
I mean, yeah, I would say Cal, but if we're doing not Raleigh or Ohtani, let's go with you know what? Let's go with Randall Grichuk.
Okay. Very good. Musa says FanDuel large field pitcher. A large field pitcher on FanDuel from Musa. Cheese, you want to handle that?
I mean, it would still be Crochet, but if you don't want to spend up, I would do Burns.
Okay. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything here. There's now people arguing in chat. This is a good one. Butto Jenkins, you will both answer this one. Drumsticks or ice cream sandwiches? Drumstick being like the ice cream version. Drumstick or ice cream sandwich, Tim?
Probably drumsticks.
Cheese?
Drumstick, unless it's a cookie as the packaging around the ice cream sandwich.
Those are good. Really, the key is you can't get the knockoff ones of either. If you get like the fake drumsticks or the not name brand ice cream sandwiches,
generic ice cream sandwiches are horrifying.
They're so bad. But if you get the good one, I don't even know what brand the good one is, but if you get the good one, like I had one, Ice Cream Man came through, and I had one. I was like, holy shit, this is delicious. It was like 10 out of 10, really freaking good. So I'm going ice cream sandwiches on that one, but don't go generic. Okay, more questions coming in from the Discord here. FanDuel Cash one-off, Tim, Merrill or Riley?
FanDuel Cash, they said?
Yep, one-off Merrill or Riley.
I think I'd go Riley.
Okay.
They're both
Cheese?
really good, though. I like both of them.
Okay. Let's see. Cheese, DK GPP 3v3. Suzuki, Vargas, Peralta, or Muncy, Canzoni, and Strider?
I like Muncy, Canzone, Strider.
Okay. I think it should be Canzoni. I know
Canzoni. Yeah, it probably should be.
It's
Yeah.
probably not, but it just feels
It
right to
definitely
me.
should be.
Tim, is it crazy to go Noon Bar over Freeman, DK cash, if you've got the cash?
I think Freeman's better for cash, but I do like New Bar quite a bit. But I mean, I think Freeman's a better cash game play.
Yeah, but your heart is saying not terrible. Your head is saying no, but your body is telling you, yeah.
Can I say I'm not sure what that question means? If he might mean Tyler Freeman.
That's what I thought he meant was Tyler Freeman.
Okay. Yeah, because when I first saw the question, I was like, what in the world? In that case, I mean, I think Newbar is way better play than Tyler Freeman. I understand Freeman is leading off at course, but I think that's
but if you've
way
got
beyond
money,
not crazy. I think you should definitely.
It's definitely not crazy. I still think for cash, in my opinion, it's Freeman, but I mean, they're both good.
Okay. Cheese, you love a good name. You do. I too. We
absolutely.
So are you playing your Buddy Kennedy on the Phillies 2K on FanDuel?
This would be a good time for the old. I have 0, and I would definitely have less if I could.
Yes. Oh man, don't do that to your buddy. Let's see.
Great
DK
name,
cash
though.
question. Tim, this one's for you. It's a 3v3. Peralta, Mead, and Caglione, or Anderson, Muncy, and Grichuk?
I'd go the Peralta side.
So to be clear, we have a Canzone and a Caglione. Probably neither.
Now
of
I
them
want to
ended in.
redo my lineups to get them both in there.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like you got to double Italian this and see what happens. Also, I now know what I want for dinner. Italian. Any Valdez love tonight? I wanted to ask this as well. Valdez can put up big games, right? Geez, any interest?
I love Valdez. Yeah, I said I'm playing him ahead of the chalkier Peralta.
Okay.
So he's my SP4, but like really that means I'm playing more of him than Rodon still because of salary. So yeah, I like him very much.
Okay. We're less than 2 minutes until lock, so we're doing good here. Cheese, Goodman, Beck, or Tani and Maldonado?
Goodman back.
Okay. Ian says 2,200 FanDuel single entry cash. Didn't say a position, so I assume that's you, Till. Tim, you got a cash play at 2,200 on FanDuel for me?
I would just go Jake McCarthy at the flat 2K.
Okay. Favorite outfielder, DK, Tim, 3,700 and below.
I would go Alec Burleson.
Okay. Cheese, Pirate stack with Crochet and Chase Burns. Do I win it all in a large field DK?
I actually like that. I mean, of course, no, you probably don't. I mean, the Pirates are a very low probability team, but I actually kind of like that. I think that's worth throwing in there for sure.
Okay. Cheese, Will Smith or the Big Dumper?
Dumper.
Yeah. Stuffed shells with meat sauce and extra garlic bread. Okay, that sounds, yeah. All right. I'm about that life. Keith says I accidentally do have Canzone and Caglione in multiple lineups. Yeah.
That was not accidental in your subconscious for sure.
That is amazing. Tyler Anderson or Nelson is my SP2, Tim, in a single entry GPP. Anderson, Mr. Anderson, or Nelson.
I'd go Anderson.
Okay. Did that one. Hey, guess what? We hit the lock. We did the things. And I think we had a damn good show. So we are going to bounce on out of here for Tim and for Cheese and for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up on your way out. We appreciate it. We need the eyeballs to keep the show rolling. We appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crunched.